we have another new camera, actually possibly two new cameras that are supposed to come out, the A7C Mark II and then the A7C R, which technically would be a Mark I, so I don't know how they're gonna roll with that, but let's cover the little bit that we do know that's out there about these cameras, because honestly, people that might be getting the A6700, if done right, might skip that camera completely and go for the A7C, even just the base Mark II instead of the R, if that's a thing, but just kind of chat about that. So according to Sony Alpha Rumors, which sometimes is a little hit or miss based on his details that he gets from some people, but otherwise it's been fairly reliable, and A7CR is going to be dropping. Now, the R is usually for the higher resolution ones, so like the A7R Mark V that we're getting a lot of the AI tech kind of trickling down throughout the Sony lineup that we saw in A6700 and the ZV-E1. The names. It's a lot. It's just a lot. Now, if the rumors are true, we're going to see a 33 megapixel and we're going to see a 61 megapixel sensor. And that is specifically coming from the Sony A7 IV in addition to the A7R Mark V. Now, I think the one with the A7 IV is true because that sensor has gone nowhere. We have not seen that A7 IV sensor get spread around like how it usually would, where if anything, to be honest, I would have thought the ZV-E1 that I'm recording this on right now would have been the camera that gets that A7 IV sensor. And that's honestly what most of us were hoping. But for it to be good and great for video, maybe they valued, Sony that is, they valued it being the lower megapixels and close to the A7 III better than something else. But that makes me wonder if the ZV line is just going to be only video, no photos, because I don't think they should, and just put that out there. I don't think that it should be a photo-centric ZV lineup. It should stay video because we already have the hybrid bodies of cameras like the A7 IV, maybe this A7CR, and that lineup makes more sense for more hybrid rangefinder type cameras. And that's what I think a lot of people would get the most value out of, unless you're only doing mostly content creation stuff, primarily let's say like 90-95%, even some 85% video only. They still may want the hybrid body. Now, the other benefit that I hope's trickle down from above and not below is the better EVF, and hope, geez Louise, at least maybe on the R, if that's why they're doing two, a better screen. For me, I'm used to this screen now. Not that I would not really enjoy a better screen, because even Fuji on their lower end cameras had a much better screen, and Canon is producing cameras and some of those have much better screens, and Panasonic's been doing their thing for a while. So it's like the only company that's not doing it is Sony. But like I said, we're so used to it now, it's just like, fine, whatever. Everything else is amazing. Video, they usually have a little thing on top of monitor, but it's like, whatever, we're dealing with it. But for high resolution rangefinder, great for street photography, great for hybrid creators, has IBIS, it at least would have everything the Sony A6700 has. That's a dope camera, and it would be full frame. So the people that don't want the ZV-E1, they prefer the dials, they prefer a rangefinder style body, don't want to go APS-C to A6700, because that's the only sub $2,000 camera that has all the new tech and stuff that's come out, is the A6700. A7CR is a smart move. Now, how would that make sense for the regular A7C Mark II, the upgrade? I think it would be probably like a baby A7 IV. And would it have a 4K 60 crop still on it? I would hope not, because this camera doesn't. The A6700 doesn't. So why would those have it? I hope not. It's just supposed to be compact. Now, the regular A7C right now is continued to drop in price. We've continued to see a lot of people even pick them up and start using them now, even though they maybe never had it before, just because the price is so good. So you can maybe, for the price of a ZV-E10 and a lens, get you an A7C Mark I, and it'd be dope. High autofocus, unlimited recording, rangefinder style body, flip out screen, pretty much all the bells and whistles. But the sensor, not so much. Now, if you are a hybrid creator, what would you want to see in the A7C Mark II, if that's the camera that would be right for you, or would you prefer the A7CR? I think the idea of an A7CR is so dope, because if like you are an ultralight content creator like me, just gonna go ahead and start using that phrase, because you don't want to carry a bunch of stuff around. You want one camera, one lens, maybe two, and the camera to be powerful enough. Should you want to expand it out, you could, but otherwise you could be lean and mean and just run the streets with one camera, one lens, and not a whole lot of gear. This would solve the issue with a lot of people having issues with the ZVE1 and the build quality of the camera not being just that rangefinder, sturdier body design. For example, just be real honest, just put it out there. As much as I'm using my camera, as much I think I'm using this one, it feels like more often, because I can do more stuff with it without having to worry about a bunch of things. So it's not on the tripod a lot, it's in the hand a lot now. I'm seeing wear and tear on the body, not that the lens is getting floppy, not that the ports are getting weak, not any quality control stuff like that, but just the white paint is starting to rub off in some areas, like where I constantly have my thumb that bumps into when I'm tightening the mic. I'm just noticing like in the corner, I usually sit my lens on the magnetic lens mount filter that's on there. So it's not on the lens, but it's on the table. And I usually just set that down, and I'm noticing wear and tear on that. It has nothing to do with the camera, but I'm just saying. I mean, build quality's not that great. I was saying wear and tear on the ZVE10 too, but not as much as I'm seeing it on this one. I don't know if it's just the white paint or what, but either way, people don't necessarily want to see that. They want it to survive. So if you're into camping, you're into hiking, you're into outdoor content, or you're just constantly on the move with the kind of content that you want, maybe you want it to be a good B or C camera for wedding photography and videography. Like, it's a lot of possibilities with the A7C lineup, because now all the distractions are gone. You got the ZV lineup that takes care of the content creator's focus. You have the higher end cameras, whether you go S route for video or you go the R route for more photo based stuff. And even those cameras have great video features like we saw with the R5. Now for the overall well-rounded user, you want a little bit of both. The A7C might work with the better build quality. Maybe it doesn't have any real concerns with the heat dissipation. And maybe one of these bad boys has a fan in it. Because I don't know if y'all saw, but Ulanzi made a fan that works with all kinds of cameras now. I did go ahead and pre-order it. I want to test it out. I can't see me using it in my day-to-day like I've been doing back-to-back videos. Now they're like raw recordings anywhere from 18 to 22-ish minutes or whatever. No overheating in the camera so far or what have you. And just, unless I'm testing for overheating, is the only time I tend to run into it. But I have noticed in one particular way for sure that I've been seeing overheating, and that may be like the one thing for content creating entrepreneurs that might be an issue, but talk about that in another video. But let me know where your thoughts are at when it comes to the A7C cameras. Would you get it? And if you stuck around to the end, I actually have a gift for you. So with Small Rig and Falcom, we actually have quite a few pieces of gear around in the office, and I'm going to be doing a video on both of these separately, and then we'll be talking about them together for overall accessories and whatnot. But there's going to be a chance for you to win some of all of this stuff that's come into the office for all of this equipment and stuff. That obviously some things I only asked for extras, just like so that, oops, don't hit the mic, but so that I could give some away to you guys, because I don't just want to encourage you to be buying obviously the right gear for you that'll solve your problems. I actually want to help invest into your content creation journey. And I think one of the best ways to do that is with the giveaway. And some of y'all been wanting to have the Wheel of Wonder game come back on the Friday Live Helpcast and the live streams. I'm not going to make any promises, but you might be seeing something. I'll put it to you like that.